Bro, audio. I feel like I'm in the 1930 movie theaters with no subtitles. How long have you guys been here? What's up, Wally? What's up, John Deere? We were muted for the past 17 minutes.
God damn, bro.
Yeah, I can hear now.
Yo, as my favorite reality TV show star would say, wow.
Since stream started. What? Oh my god. You're talking 20 minutes.
You know what, though? I'm not going to lie. If
John Deere's been here for an hour.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. I would be the type of person to not say anything just to wait until like a whole hour goes by and just be like, you guys haven't been on for an hour. I'm not gonna lie, I would get a kick out of that. I'm not gonna lie, I would really fucking laugh at it.
This is why you do audio check. Were you guys, I saw it going from like 5 to 3, from 5, 4, 3, like going up and down. I think people were just like refreshing. Maybe they thought it was theirs. You guys like, plus I didn't want to be rude. That's not rude, bro. You're helping us out if you tell us we're muted.
Yo, look, so
I can't believe this.
All right, so basically, as we were muted, we were trying to figure out.
I'm like crisscross dripping all over the place when I'm always here. I got you.
We were trying to figure out if a pedophile
can be rehabilitated.
It's not if they can be rehabilitated, but if a pedophile is going to be a pedophile, regardless of whether they went through something in life or not. Because in my mind, I would imagine that pedophiles or people who have like these weird things about them, they may have gone through something as a kid. Kind of goes back to that old conversation of hurt people.
Yeah.
Like, are they just reliving their whatever happened to them and like hurting someone else, or like let's say nothing ever happened to them, were they gonna be that way anyway? And if that's the case, if they were gonna be that way anyway, like I feel like it's a different conversation that needs to be had. If people are just gonna be born like that anyway, like I don't know how much digging psychologists would need to do into someone's psyche to figure that part out, but
right.
It's just a different conversation. If people are gonna be born like that, that's a whole other. Because honestly, I know it's gonna sound fucked up, but what if that's the case? What if someone is born liking just older people?
Right.
Am I going to like?
I mean,
I know girls who just like older guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've known girls who stayed with older guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? So. And they just seem to say like, oh, that's who they find more attractive, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look,
he's not defending pedophiles.
I'm not. No, look, you gotta really pay attention. Like, I'm not defending them. I'm saying like, all right, let me give an example. Right, this is completely different to an extent. So, I had a manager before, right, and she was gay. So, I don't remember, the conversation had just went on for so long that she just ended up opening up about what she thinks kind of made her like that, or like made her gay.
Yeah. Or
not even necessarily gay, but she just would rather deal with females than dudes.
Men, yeah.
And a lot of times I've heard a lot of girls say this, where it's like a dude like abused me when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I'm with a female, she's not gonna treat me that way.
Right.
So that made I've heard that story a lot of times. And so when I heard that story, I'm trying to figure out now, like hearing that story over and over and over, it makes me think like, all right, how many people actually are just attracted to the same sex, or how many people are just with the same sex because
they don't want to get hurt again.
They're traumatized somehow or another by the opposite sex.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like it's kind of the same to an extent. I know I'm pretty sure it sounds crazy, but to an extent I feel like it's sort of the same thing with pedophilia. Like, how many people are legitimately attracted to children versus how many of them were abused as a child and now they're doing the same thing to another child.
Right.
You know what I mean? And listen, working in the environment that I work in, there's a lot of them that say shit like that. That say like, well, I was abused as a kid, and I guess I was just acting out my, you know what I mean? A lot of them say that.
Right.
So I can't pretend, because I've heard it a lot of times. I can't pretend like it hasn't been said. I can't just be like, this is what I think about it.
Right.
I have another side of the coin. I have to listen to it and be like, okay, like I'm just trying to.
Michael Jackson wasn't born touching boys. R. Kelly wasn't born peeing on minors.
No, I don't think they were. Absolutely, I don't. But that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I don't think they were born doing that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is a lot of times, people, if they went through something as a kid,
but a grown ass man should know better though.
They absolutely should.
Yeah.
But look, this is what I'm trying to say. I know they should know better.
Right. But you're trying to figure out.
I'm just trying to figure out what leads them down that road.
Right.
Look at the prisons. Look at how many people in prison. Obviously, all the people in prison should know better.
Right.
But something led, like a series of events led to them being in prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And to an extent, you should. I feel like we should want to know what that series of events was.
Yeah.
Like I remember I read some statistic like if a child. I'm not saying, I don't even remember necessarily if the statistic is if a child can't read by the 4th grade, they're more likely to end up in prison like by the age of 25 or something, like 80% more likely to end up in prison. I don't think it's that, obviously I don't necessarily think the statistic is saying because they can't read they're going to end up in prison.
It's just saying because they don't study. Or
it's
because
they
they don't pay attention to the studies.
It's a good chance that them not being able to read closed a lot of opportunities, and now they're looking for all these other opportunities to make a living, and which a lot of them just happen to be illegal opportunities.
Right.
And they're likely to go to prison because they don't have enough legal opportunities.
Right.
Should they learn how to read as an adult? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that you can't ignore the fact that they couldn't. I feel like you can't necessarily just ignore the fact that they couldn't read by a certain age and they start looking for all these other.
Right, where they don't have to.
You know what I mean? But
today's American society and culture doesn't help them if they're down that road. Hollywood is full of pervs, the internet is an enabler. But selling dope for money or stealing something to feed your family is a crime of necessity. Being a peddler serves nobody but your own selfish desires.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But
it's just the example to show that X can sometimes lead to Y. So you're trying to find out what the X is for the pedophile that led to Y.
Yeah, I'm not defending them. I'll be the first person.
Well, yeah, we're definitely not defending any. We're not defending pedophiles at all.
I'll be the first person. If you break the law, I'll be the first person to be like, that person could be in jail.
Yeah.
I'm automatically going to be that way. What I'm trying to say is it's like how do you prevent it before it even happens?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like how do you create a culture that prevents or lowers that statistic of how many pedophiles there are in the first place? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I feel like it's a question worth thinking about.
Right. John, this is Laptop Bro. When are we gonna hear your opinion? I like G-Unit, but he's the star of the show.
Who's G-Unit?
You.
This is man. This is bro. This is not a G-Unit shirt.
Yeah.
Yo, I've never worn a G-Unit shirt. And now look, I won't lie. I'm not. I hate to. I know we shouldn't even be switching subjects like that. But I hate to lie. I did at one point when 50 first came out.
Those tank tops.
I did have the G-Unit tank top. I had one of them, just one of them, because they were actually they weren't cheap.
Weren't they like actually name brand?
They were like actual name brand. They had really good quality. I'm never wearing a shirt on streaming day. Yeah. That's the last time I ever wear it.
The problem is, what about the law? What if legal consent is 14, but a 20-something-year-old has a relationship with a 14-year-old?
See, all right. So look, for something like that, right? This is. I'm just gonna break down how I think about that. Someone should have. Somewhere along the line, someone should have been like, you don't need to be having you shouldn't have stay away from a relationship with someone who's that age. Right. You know what I mean? If someone in the family, I feel like someone in the family had to know you were dating like, a 14-year-old at some point, like.
Right. I mean, well, it's like, look, if it's legal, does that make it ethical? I guess is what they're saying.
If it's legal, does it make it ethical?
What if legal consent is 14?
Oh, he said what if legal?
20-year-old has consent. 14 also said yes. Parents find out and get involved.
Parents find out and get involved and say what? Like it's okay?
I don't know. There was one that's like that now. There's like some Instagram model who's dating like it's called grooming, by the way. When like an older woman is like they're not like officially dating, but it's like they really hang out and they're like really intimate, but the boy is underage. They call it grooming, and that's happening now with an Instagram model. She's like 20 something. She's in her 20s, and the kid is like, I think he probably is 14 this year.
Wait, it's an Instagram. Hold on.
The girl's parents press. Yeah, go ahead.
It's an Instagram model.
Yeah.
She's 21 or over.
Yeah.
And there's a 14-year-old kid who has access.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The mom, both moms was okay with that. Drake is dating like a 16-year-old. I doubt it. Girls' parents get mad, want to press charges. Shit happens all the time, no?
Hold on, Drake is dating.
He's not dating a 16-year-old. There was like rumors that he and you know the girl from Stranger Things.
No. Yo, I feel so bad. Yo, so many people have told me, yo, Stranger Things is a fire ass show, and I haven't had the chance to watch it. And I'm gonna start watching it. I'm gonna binge it. I'm gonna add that to my belt. But all right, look.
Wait, here's the thing, right? I feel like when people are dating it with that age discrepancy, I feel like both people are taking advantage of each other, like no matter
Absolutely.
what.
I think so.
You
100%.
know, and it's like if you're 14, you're dating somebody older, and they're like buying stuff for you, and you think they're like taking care of you in a certain way, you're taking advantage of them. You're just like, oh, who cares? Whatever. Like, my body doesn't matter. I'm getting all this cool stuff. Who cares, right?
Right.
So in your mind, you're taking advantage of them. They're older. They know they're taking advantage of you in every way possible. So it's really toxic, and it shouldn't be done like that. I feel like that's why that age difference dating it's not good, right? Because it's two people who are doing the wrong thing, and both. I don't know if the older person gets hurt as much as the younger person does.
I honestly, really quick, I honestly think that.
What's up, Silver Streak? What's up, GX Appreciate it. What? Ha ha ha.
Honestly, my thing is like the older person has too much life experience and is using too many tools,
right,
to keep a younger person in a situation that they might not necessarily be aware that they're in.
Yeah,
I think that's really. I think to me, at the core of it,
goes inbound for sure.
I think to the core of it, I think that's the reason why it's underage dating is wrong to the core of it.
What's up, Westwick? How you doing?
At the same time, I just feel like we've seen too many instances in general where you see a younger person and someone who's like maybe like 2 years or 3 years older than them, and like that's the consent. You know what I mean? I feel like when it comes to that, we've seen so many situations like that it's 2 or 3 years really as punishable by law as someone who's 50 years over dating someone who's like 14. I
think like college, if you're like a year or two into college and you're dating a high schooler, I think that's like pretty messed up. Like age itself, I think it's more about experience than age.
Yeah,
I think it's way more about experience than age. So it's like if it's like a freshman dating junior or senior, I don't think it's that big of a deal as like a junior dating like an adult, or like someone who's like been in college for like 2 or 3 years and about to graduate college or something like that. I think that's way worse.
Way worse than the 50-year-old?
No. I mean that's the final boss. That's that's the worst. Are you guys gun owners?
I'm not a gun owner. However, I want to be.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, it doesn't take that long to do it in New York. But I do want to become a gun owner. I just haven't taken the steps to do it. Like recently just switched jobs, and I was more gung ho about it before I switched jobs. But ever since switching jobs, I kind of just fell off of it. But I definitely want to become a gun owner.
Same here. Not a lot. I just want like. I don't need a whole bunch. I just need 2 pieces to defend myself and my family.
Yeah, I don't need an arsenal. Like I don't need you to come through and then you see everything in a glass case. There's something under the bed. Like I don't need all that.
Right. I don't mind getting it legally. I don't mind going through the paperwork to get it legally. I don't.
I'd rather get it legally.
Yeah. I like where it's difficult to get a gun. I like being there.
Look, I think it's 100% appropriate that it's difficult or that you need to go through the proper steps to have a license to get a gun. Something that just bugs me out is that in other states you could just like go to Walmart and get one.
Yeah, that's what John Deere was saying.
I find that really strange. Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think we all want to believe like human decency would just be like you're not gonna go to Walmart and get a gun and like fire just on people who are innocent.
Yeah.
So I think we don't want humans to be like that, but the truth of the matter is they can't. Some people are.
Have you ever fired a gun?
Yes.
No.
I went to a gun range, and I think I've the only thing that I didn't shoot was an automatic. I wish I remembered all the names of the guns I shot, but I know any like automatic guns excluded. I've shot any other gun that's in a video game.
Okay.
Yo, like there was one shotgun. I'm not gonna remember the name of it, and I felt so bad because I felt like people's lives were like really at risk. For some reason, I couldn't like hold on to the barrel, I guess. And every time I shot it, like it would just come out of my hand, and it just felt like someone was gonna get shot by accident.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
I mean, look, it was
a blunderbuss. He didn't shoot it in freaking 1500.
But like, don't get me wrong, it was still aimed down the correct line of sight. It's just that I didn't like the fact that it would come out, like get out of my hand. I will say this: the best, like the best.
No, I never shot a gun.
Oh, the best thing I got, or the best score that I got for anything that I did shoot was the discs. Like they shoot the discs in the air.
Yeah.
Yo, I caught not all of them. I think I was like maybe 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5.
Okay.
And that I thought I was gonna completely fail at that and just be a failure like to my friends. But I didn't. I caught like at least 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5.
I would not hit any.
You think that, but you trust me, it's not that hard. We should go.
Yeah, I want to go. Where you go through New York, California, or Alabama, the end process is the same. A background check through federal government. States like to add tax and dictate gun laws for your own safety.
Now, look, honestly, I don't mind having this conversation because I haven't taken the time to really go and look at it. But we say add tax. Like, is it like tax to hold the license every year or something?
It probably costs more to buy the gun in states with tougher gun controls to like stop you from buying a gun. I don't know I don't know if there's a tax to hold a license. I figured once you got your license to have one, you just keep it. Yeah, and you probably have to renew it a couple of years. He says he's right, so I guess that's what you do. That's how it is.
Taxes to have the license.
Yeah, I think they should outlaw guns in society would clearly be better. I don't think that's.
Look,
I guess that's a philosophical.
It kind of is.
It's like a philosophical.
Well, you give your thing on it really quick.
My thing is, one, I want to defend myself from other people, and I want to defend myself from the government. So it's like if the obvious one is if a burglar comes into the home, I want to be able to defend my friends, my family. But if for one day the government is just like, all right, guys, if you have shaggy hair, because we found out the other day that people with shaggy hair like to kill people,
right? It's
time to go, right? Like I don't want something like that to happen. Or if a random president is just like, whatever, he signs some random thing, and he's just like, all right, it's time for you type of people to go, or it's time for you guys to go, or we're taking over, we're about to take your land because we needed to do this and that,
right?
Like I want to be able to defend ourselves. Like that's what That's what it's for. That's what the Second Amendment is for.
I agree to the extent of the burglar. I do feel like if the government was really gonna like come down on you, like you're not gonna win anyway. Like
I
40 cal has.
Yeah, I won't win alone. But if the community has guns, we could hold out.
Nah, bro. Yo,
they might napalm us,
look,
right?
Let's be honest here, bro. They go through for real training. Like they train for situations.
You would too.
Nah, train. I don't have nowhere to train really. Like the most training I have is aiming. Like I don't have like tactical. Let me go around the corner, bust the door down, smoke grenade. Like, are you ready for that? I'm not ready for that, bro.
I'm gonna try.
I feel like I would try, but I know I would be going down. First, look, me. I'm not trying to be a punk. If there was really beef like that, and the first time someone throws a smoke grenade. They might not even do the smoke grenade. They might just do the little wire that just goes into one of the vents in your crib and just put sleeping gas in. The fight's over. Yo, the fight's over before you know it.
What's that smell?
You know what I mean? Like,
that's going on the government. They're gonna finish your ass. But I mean, you're gonna try to finish my ass anyway.
Yo, and I'm not trying to like live in movies, but I've just seen too many movies where like I've only like in the last year or two started to piece together like. If the government really was like, we're taking everyone down, like there's some sort of weird militia government going on and they just want to fuck up citizens with guns or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
I've watched too many like documentaries and movies and started piecing together like these people are professionally trained. You're probably going to be outnumbered. You're going to be outgunned. Their firepower is just going to be better. They have like they're even dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, they got
like,
bulletproof vests.
They have the bulletproof vest. They got the helmet.
They got that helmet. That helmet can see through walls and shit. I'm kidding, but
they might.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They might fuck around, come through at nighttime. They got the night vision goggles on. You just have regular goggles because that's all you could afford at the time.
Yeah.
I don't.
If the U.S. government goes full ham against people, your ass ain't got no use for a gun. They got GPS guided bombs, supersonic fighter jets, long range artillery, rocket launchers, so y'all can't do shit.
That's what I'm saying. Look, I agree. I want to fight. Look, I'm not trying to be a punk. I would love to fight back, but I know what's going on. Like I'm not equipped the way these people are equipped. Like you
gun it. Keep going to cheat you. Either first to turn his bros in from wanting to defend themselves. If I recall, your capability is about 50% in a serious situation. The government is more likely to poison you or some shit if they want to get rid of you.
But look, this is what I'm trying to get at. This is what I'm trying to get at. I'm not trying to say don't put up a fight.
Yeah.
I'm saying know what you're up against. He said it better than I could say it.
Yeah,
they might not even make. We might make it a gunfight. We might be like, yo, everyone get ready, hold your positions, right? And they already put the sleeping gas inside the crib.
Right. The people of Waco didn't give up. They fought for what they believed in, and now people side with the people of Waco, i.e., government overreach.
Bro, but we're looking at it. We're looking at something where it's not the government using the full extent of like their reach of power. They're not using everything.
Yeah, like it's not war to them.
They go to think about that just for a second.
Yeah.
They're trained for war. They're trained for straight up war.
Yeah.
Are you really trained for are we really trained to really battle people who have gone to war?
I mean, we might not be ready, but
listen, I've told people this a million times. Personally, I would rather we just go back to the old times where this is my Coliseum fighter right here.
Yeah.
We put him up against your guy, and whoever wins, that's who wins the war. Let that be it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And leave it at that. But this whole thing was like, yo, I just don't feel like you could really defend yourself if the government really wants to go ham. Like, if they really want to bomb you,
they would, for sure.
If they want, let's not even make it a gunfight. They just want to just be like, if they were like, look, you're so dangerous that we don't care who's in that building, we're gonna blow it up. What is the defense for a bomb? Like, we don't like you, bro.
That's what they did to Move 9.
Who's that?
Move 9 was like this. It was like this movement in Chicago or Pennsylvania. And they were like starting to kind of have their own. I think I told you about this before. They were kind of having their own civilization.
Oh,
like
okay,
their
actually, I
nation.
remember that. Yeah.
And then they just bombed them. They bombed like 2 or 3 city blocks.
Bro, there's nothing a Desert Eagle is doing against a bomb. Unless you see, yo, come on, let's be honest here.
So the American government does not accept its power being challenged. They'll mess you up. Look what happens to legal gun owners already. They get wasted by cops now. The populace is never going to be at war with the government. That situation won't happen. They said same in Syria. Oh, they said that. I guess they said that about populace. Like a civil war pretty much would never happen, and then it broke out in Syria. What if our people in Liberia were armed in 1800s? I can't imagine they would throw their arms down because of the big bad British and imperialist Americans. The more appropriate thing would be if there were riots or something.
If there were what?
If there were riots or something.
Look, personally, I think if you really want to make a statement, I think the best way to make a statement is to hit people in their pockets. That's just how I feel about it.
Well, like to stop buying guns?
Not even stop. I'm talking about like depending on what the real issue is. Like, because when he says riots, the first place my mind goes is to like L.A. riots or any riots that have happened like in the last year or two with anyone being shot by police. Riots, I feel like if you really wanna make a statement that goes to the deep end where someone won't fuck with you anymore, I really feel like it's to hit people in their pocket, and it's to boycott certain products or certain items. That's just how I feel about it. I really don't see a gun like the times he's talking about. To me, is very different from the time we're talking about now.
Yeah,
almost a lot of people. I feel like percentage-wise, you probably have far more gun owners who were way closer to being a tactician as far as being a gunner than people today.
Right. Yeah.
I'm telling you, like the most a lot of people are gonna be able to do in today is be able to like aim and shoot. It's not gonna be like, okay, well, what if
let me find cover, let me flank.
It's not a whole lot of people out there like that.
They don't even know the hand motions or nothing like that.
Right.
The Asians defended themselves during the LA riots. Riots in America were never armed insurgencies. As soon as people saw riots with guns, the government will bring bigger guns.
Bro, what's the answer for the bigger gun? That's more or less what I'm trying to get at. I was like if I don't want to make this something like about like chess, but you don't just decide, all right, well, my queen is super strong. Let me move this pawn out the way and put my strongest thing out there. It's like there's a strategy to it. I think you should have. If something like this was to happen, which I don't even think it really would.
Right. Well, I think in history, the answer to the bigger gun is always to get help. So it's like you always have to, this is what's happening in Syria now, right? People are seeing that there's a civil war going on, and whichever one is like the underdog, they're getting help from outside nations. Like, I think U.S. was in Syria just up until a few months ago. So if something like that were to happen and people were to keep fighting and continue going on, they would get help from another country. Like during the Revolutionary War, we had to go to France. And Crimea. There are other countries now, like Israel, between Israel and Palestine. They both have their own allies that are coming through to help them.
As a whole, right? I know people are gonna be like, "Yo, you're being a punk," right? As a whole, right? Like, how many problems?
This is too much of a mess to understand.
As a whole, right? Like, how many people are really feel like they're at war with the government, or like a real government?
No, I don't
versus.
I don't see it right now.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
And I even understand someone will say, well, you don't see it because it's not necessarily like, people are just fighting with guns. Like I understand people are saying they're like impeding on your rights, which will lead to something like that. I get that. But overall, I'm not seeing why the American people would really need to go to war with their government.
I think it's just a foresight thing. You know, it's really a lot of people don't think they ever will, but it's really a just in case. It's really if it ever happens.
But I get that. I'm honest. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. What I'm trying to get at is like, it's like not like where is it coming from?
Well, it came from the American Revolution.
But that was so long ago. Like,
yeah, but half of our laws are still are from when we got independence from there. I'm telling, like, the first 10. Is it 10? I think the first 10 amendments are from when they declared victory during the Revolutionary War. The first 10 amendments, and the second one was the right to bear arms because they wanted to rebel against the government if necessary, because that's what they did to England.
But I feel like at that I feel like at that time it was more of a level playing field.
No, it
You don't
wasn't.
think so?
No,
You don't feel like the people? I feel like the people who want to make sure that if they want to rebel, they were like well equipped to do it. Like when I say equal level, I mean the guns they had versus what the government had.
yeah,
like the
but
guns we're allowed to have versus what the government's allowed to have.
But for them to get any type of supplies or anything, they would need to use the ports. And England had the biggest navy in the world at the time. They were severely undermanned. They were they were the underdog at that time. They kind of had no chance of winning without help.
But what I'm saying is, you said, like, for example, you said like the right to bear arms was born out of the fact that if there needed to be a rebellion, that they were equipped to overthrow the government if the government was rebelling against them or something.
Yeah,
along
essentially control. Yeah,
right. What I'm saying is, back then the technology, for the most part, it seemed like was more on an even playing field as far as what they had and what they were capable of getting and what the other side was capable of getting. If that makes sense.
Right. I get that.
It's super like,
I think it's this. It would be the same now.
bro. I can't get a rocket launcher that easy.
You can't, but they couldn't back then. They didn't have. I'm telling you, it's proportionate. So it's like you see how big of a thing you feel like it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty sure they felt the same way. Like how England was the super giant at the time. If it wasn't the most powerful, it was like top 3. It would be like Puerto Rico. I'm exaggerating. Maybe not Puerto Rico, but it'd be like. It'd be like if Japan tried to go against China. It'd be like that. Like someone who was like okay on their own trying to go against a superpower.
Okay.
Like England was a superpower at the time.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I just think that if it comes down to the American people versus the U.S. government, there's no. I just don't see the chance.
Honestly, I feel like we'd probably get obliterated too, but that's like the first wave of people would most likely get obliterated. But if the movement kept going strong and strong, who knows what could happen. I think that's what it's really about. Is like, of course, as soon as they're like, all right, we're about to shut this down, millions of rebels or whatever is gonna die. But if the movement keeps going on and it gets back up and it gets reinforcement, it gets help, they really might win. It really might happen.
It's possible, man.
Next time I wouldn't have to wait an hour and a half for the stream to start. We're gonna start tweeting out.
Huh?
He asked why don't we tweet? We're gonna why don't we tweet? Because next time we won't have to wait an hour and a half for the stream to start. Like I said.
Yo, I still can't believe that there was no volume, bro.
Yeah, no, I messed up big time.
That's crazy to me.
Let's just say, like I said, Americans won't ever go to war with the government. I mean, if the government wanted to, they could wipe out the populace pretty easily, but they won't. The American people will wake up once they realize the exact monetary issues against them. So let's say Trump refuses to leave his office and declares himself a dictator in the USA. Are you going to grab a gun and go fight him? That's not going to happen. Why not? Because he would be laughed out of the office pretty quickly. Nobody thought Obama would declare 10 national emergencies and use multiple executive actions. Even supporters would laugh at that. Like previous presidents, Westbrook, are you 12? Oh, looks like they're... Again, it's like...
You said it looks like they're getting tight.
Like, oh, this is going.
But yo, look.
California.
Look, man.
You know, talking about how you done with questions. Japan nearly wrecked China in World War II, but America got involved. Now do you see the problem? Dude, I don't even know what you're trying to prove here. Can we talk about current events? Westbrook, just stop talking. You clearly have no idea what you're talking about. This convo was way beyond your brain, so look, I've been quiet long enough. I think it's time you left, Sean Westbrook. I think it's time you left for you to go get well.
Yo, when you guys are trying
it's
to,
all good.
We're really kick each other out
shit.
the stream, bro.
Yeah, it's really just talking shit.
Damn, but now we're so far. What happened? I thought we were talking about.
Someone asked if we ever fired a gun.
Oh,
and
that
we just came there.
But look, I'm gonna own a gun though.
Yeah,
I really am. I'm gonna go do it, just for the sake of just straight up self defense. I think more people. I honestly think more people should. And I know that's a big thing. Like people feel like you shouldn't, or a lot of people shouldn't, because violence just begets more violence. But look, in my like perfect world, there's just no guns,
right?
But you can't pretend like there aren't criminals who will just take that opportunity to be like, since I know everyone doesn't have guns, I'm gonna have a gun. Like
I found out a new gun. I found out a new way to hurt people.
You know, like in my perfect world, police just have rubber bullets. And to stop a criminal, they shoot the criminal with a rubber bullet. It hurts a lot, and they go down. But that's just not reality, man. There's just people who are just gonna take advantage of the fact that people don't have guns, and they're gonna act up. Whoever has the most power is, when it comes down to gun power, if everyone is just neutralized and be armed, then I get it. Whoever has the guns is the person who's gonna win. It can't. That's why
whoever has the biggest guns wins.
Whoever has the biggest guns. You know what I mean?
This is a bit of a segue, but it was something that we did talk about last night a little bit.
I don't remember anything we talked about.
No. I mean, like after the stream.
Oh, what?
The event in the shooting in New Zealand.
Oh, yo, honestly, that event in general, I feel like it's a testament to how frequent these things are happening. That we're kind of just becoming numb to it.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm numb to it. I'm just saying I could see how people could get numb to it, because it just feels like every 3 months or some shit, there's just there's like a mass shooting.
Right.
Like growing up, it didn't seem like that. Maybe I wasn't following the news as much. But growing up, it just seemed like it was just that happened like once every couple of years. It felt like it didn't feel like it was every couple of months.
There was only like the one. It was like obviously Columbine, and then after that, I remember the next one being Virginia Tech.
Yeah, it's such a disgusting thing for someone to do.
Yeah,
to just decide they're gonna take out innocent people just because those innocent people don't necessarily line up with their values in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to families that go through something like that.
Our condolences to.
That's crazy.
Yeah, our condolences to everyone that lost a family member in New Zealand. It's like, man, it's such a bad situation. I feel really like
It makes you think. It makes that. See, it kind of goes back to that conversation a little bit, where it's just like, what markers could we identify with someone who's likely to do that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like for example, like I remember there was this documentary that I had watched. It was this documentary about this guy named the Iceman. He was like this hitman, and they had this part with the psychologist who explained that he had a conversation with her, and he said like when he was a kid, he had tied like 2 cats' tails together. And the psychologist was like, normally when we hear that a child makes it a habit like to torture animals, they're like a huge percentage more likely to be like a serial killer or something along the lines. You know what I mean? It's like, all I'm trying to get at is like, how many more markers can we find like that?
Right.
That kind of might portray someone so that you could kind of at least keep an eye on that person. I know that's treading like scary waters because that
it's thought police.
it's thought police. I know what that I know, but it's just that's the only way I could really make sense of it. If there's some sort of marker to help you keep an eye on the person.
When you hear something like this, you want to be able to stop it before it even happens.
It become to me it just becomes a matter of prevention rather than how do we punish this person.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't have the best ideas in the world as to how to stop something like that. I'm just saying that prevention seems to be more of an answer than like, okay, now we feel bad because someone just committed a mass shooting, and what do we do going forward? It's like, how do we kind of prevent these things before they actually happen? I don't.
Keep in mind, terrible things like that happen quite often. Most of them you don't see unless it pushes an agenda.
I to be honest, I agree with that.
And we'll answer your question after this, Waleed.
But I agree with what he's saying. But this social media is so rampant that I find it hard to believe that if any time it happens at this point, everyone would know about it. Right. There just wouldn't be. I just think there wouldn't be any way to cover it up at this point.
It does. Like anytime, like if ISIS were to do something really fucked up, or the Islamic State, or Boko Haram, who used to just do really, really awful things in Nigeria, like we heard about it. Like we knew about it when they were doing the really, really messed up shit, and we spoke out then, just as we are now. It's really fucked up shit people are out here doing.
I don't honestly like. I wouldn't even. I try to stay away from the news as much as possible. But there's just really no way you could not pay attention to it. Yeah, it's impossible. Like tomorrow, for example, like you're gonna log into Google, and it's gonna have like the black ribbon thing on it to represent that people there was some sort of mass shooting. I like staying away from news because I just feel like there's a lot of negative shit on it, and it kind of makes you realize how ugly the world is one way or another. But at the same time, I guess you can't ignore it, right? Because someone has to figure out a way to prevent this shit.
I mean, I just don't want to see. I'm really just. I don't want to see it anymore.
The next question that comes up with something like that is like, if someone was a gun owner, would this have happened? Like, if someone was like a licensed carry, would this have happened? Like, would they just have shot the person?
I think there was like a few. I think there's like been one or two times where like a gun owner was able to stop. A gun neighbor was able to stop someone from hurting more people. It happened recently too. I'm really not good with like remembering the exact story, but when I do hear it, I keep note of it so I can like say, it's happened recently. But there was a gun owner who like stopped the shooter, and he had hit like less people. I think he shot at no. I don't think if someone did die, it was like a very, very low number, like one or two people. But a gun owner was able to stop him before he was able to hurt more people.
That was in America though.
Yeah,
right. I think I remember that, and it was like at a store or something like that. It was like in I don't want to say a smaller state, because honestly, when it comes to New York, I just think that New York's just a huge, the biggest state anyway. But I know what you're talking about, and I heard about that. It's just not. It just doesn't seem to happen enough times where it's like a gun owner was in the vicinity and decided to.
There was a black gun owner who stopped the shooter, and he got shot by police after.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's messed up. But earlier, while he asked this, I feel like this is really. This one feels like a bomb, but it's just like.
What do you mean? Like he's reaching? Like
no, not like that. Like the question is, how do you feel about abortion? I'm kind of gonna switch topics here.
Clearly.
Yeah. But again, our hearts out to those who passed away in New Zealand, and our condolences to their families.
How do I feel about it?
Yeah. I give you my opinion, right? Mine is like I definitely fence it. I'm a fence sitter on this one, where it's like I'm pro-choice, I'm pro-choice, like policy-wise. Like, I'm just that pro-choice where I want them to have the choice if, for whatever reason, they would like to get the abortion. But if it were to happen to me, I would hope that I would want to have, or I would want to see, or I could convince the girl to carry it out fully, and then if we don't want the child, we give it up for adoption. I would want to abort my kid, but I could understand, and that's why I support the choice to let them do it. But I would, if it were me personally, I would do my best to convince her to carry the baby to full term.
Does it matter if it was a one night stand with someone you don't care about?
Yes.
So if it's someone you did not care about, you'd be like,
oh no, I'm sorry, no, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No.
Yo, you're a stronger guy than I am.
I mean,
you're a stronger guy than I am.
Right.
Because personally, I would not want. I just wouldn't, because that's not necessarily. That's not where I wanted my life to go, and I would like to believe that I have the most control that I can have over my life. You know what I mean? So if abortion, say, wasn't allowed, I feel like that would just be very life altering and life changing.
Right. That's why I'm pro-choice.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I understand, like, let's say a girl, as dark as this is, let's say a girl gets raped.
Yeah.
And she gets pregnant. Like, if she doesn't want to keep the kid, I don't think she should have to keep it. Like, it's not someone she willingly sat down with, or someone she willingly wants to have sex with. Like, but what if that happens and she doesn't want to keep the kid?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or like, what if she has the kid because she doesn't want people to look at her in a certain light, and every time she sees the kid, like, it just reminds her of rape. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Something like that might be really damaging to both the mother and the kid. What
if she, like, carries that out on him? Like, what if she, like, kind of, like, emotionally neglects him or her because of that? So that's why I kind of think, like, that's why I'm for it. But at the same time, ultimately, I'm going to be very honest here. Ultimately, I'm for it because I feel like if I'm not ready for a kid, I don't,
Yeah.
And I've been in situations where girls will, they might, you don't know.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Look, man, you don't know. And when I say you don't know, I'm saying, like, you don't, like, there was a story that I read where a girl straight up, like, took the condom that the dude, like, jacked off in.
Yeah.
And she, like, put it up there to get pregnant.
Right.
Like, that's not
cool.
You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people saying that's not cool, but that's really fucked up.
But I feel like if both people don't want to, like, change their lives, like, right then and there because they made a mistake, I don't think it's wrong. I can see why someone would say it's wrong.
Right.
But
you said Republicans want to ban abortion for rape now. It's messed up. John Deere, for some reason, he's popping off on Westwick.
Hey, man. Leave Westwick alone.
But to be real, we kill animals all the time just to eat. How much different is it to kill an embryo?
You know, who said that?
The abortion discussion is very tricky because Waleed said that.
Waleed, you just killed the game, bro. I like looking at things on all levels.
Yeah. The abortion discussion is very tricky because the different stages of pregnancy, exactly. I was going to say, it used to be the third trimester was like, before you get to the third trimester, I think there's 9 trimesters. I don't know. I think the third trimester was like very early.
It can't be 9 trimesters because then you'd have to.
Well, 9 trimesters is like 1,000,000 months.
Yeah. They're like pregnant for their whole life.
No, but the third trimester would be, if that's the case, the third trimester would be the last, right? Like the last trimester. So that's within 6 months.
Well, I know at this point it's just like right up until, at least in New York, I think they passed that bill already. It's pretty much just right up until, like, even after the baby's born, you can still decide.
Like, come on, that's
to really, me, that's insanity.
Yeah,
that is insanity. To me, it's just like, why not at that point just explore adoption? I don't understand that. I'm never gonna understand. Now, as far as like the abortion, like when it's not even
like it's like 2 weeks, like you just started throwing up and it's like it's a peanut.
Yeah, to me, I really don't see the big deal around that.
For it's like a philosophical thing. It's like that's a person. For a lot of conservatives, for a lot of like very religious conservatives, like that's a person.
I get that.
Yeah.
I never said I was conservative.
I don't know if I agree with that or not. I guess to a certain degree I do. I do agree that it's a person.
You know what? Look, you know what bugs me out about it? It's like, all right, if it's 50-50, right? You need both people to make the baby, right?
Yeah.
Where do we, like, how do we figure out who gets to say so? Like, I know a lot of people are like, well, it's the woman, so it's her body. Like, right. I don't know why I do that impersonation sometimes. I'm gonna stop doing that.
That's Kamala Harris.
Who said that?
No, I
didn't. But it's like I feel like it should just be. I feel like the question of abortion. I feel like yes, obviously, I feel like it should be legal. I don't feel like it should be legal like until after the baby's born. And that I completely disagree with. And I know some people say a life is a life, but if in the beginning stages, right, it's two people who had to come together and make that baby. They should be able to abort if they want to abort. And I feel like the guy should have a serious. I feel like you should go to court. I feel like you should go to court if you want to have an abortion.
I think you.
And I don't know if there should be a criteria. I feel there should be a criteria. The judge should be able to be like, okay, how long have you guys been together? You know what I mean? Like depending on what you're proving to be your case. Like, cause I feel like my case might be, look, we've only been together for a week. The condom broke. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or I met her last week. The condom broke.
You need a lot more courts.
I know, but I'm just saying. Look, don't attack the dreamer. Okay, right. Let the dreamer dream, because if we don't have dreamers, we might not get anywhere. But what I'm saying is, I really feel like that should come down. That maybe we need a court for that. And look, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone right now, and I'm creating more jobs. Right. I just created a whole other judge, whole other like.
You created the people. You created the jobs. People got to build the new courthouses.
Yo, why not? Yeah. Let's go to court and say like, look, is this what is judge? What do you think is appropriate? Here's her side of the story. Here's my side of the story. You know what I mean? And to make things even and make things equal, because listen, I'm an equal guy. Like I believe in equal rights and everything. Yeah. Let's split it down the line. Let's make the judge someone who identifies as a male and female, and they decide.
You're giving that judge too much power.
Judges already have to be proud. Judges are God on earth.
Yeah.
Judges literally say, "Listen, this is what's gonna happen to your life because you're fucked up."
No, well, that's not true. They only give the sentence. The jury decides. It's a group of people. In the U.S. at least,
the jury decides. Yes. But the judge is the person who mediates what the jury can decide as evidence to base their opinion on. Okay. If that makes sense. Right. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong.
Nah, because that's like overruled and sustained.
Like, because evidence is what's going to be the defining factor of whether someone finds someone guilty or not. Or at least it's supposed to be. You're not just, for the most part, when you get to a jury, or if you're on a jury, you're supposed to leave all your personal feelings about the person at the door and just rely solely on the evidence. Yeah. Or, the credible facts of evidence. But what happens is, a lot of times people do get personally involved and, like, they just say they think they did it or whatever the case is. The judge, each attorney's side, yes, is to prove their side of the case. And then the judge is the person there who's supposed to be the mediator and pretty much make sure everyone is staying objective as much as possible. You know what I mean? That's what they do. Yeah. So I'm still making the joke a little bit. If it's a male and female judge, if they identify as both, because look, that's the world we're in right now. I don't see what's the.
He says Westbrook says instead of intersex judges, how about just a man and a woman?
No, you can't do that.
Hold on, Tindy Gomuni says, I live in Northern Ireland where it is illegal to have an abortion. There are so many problems here where people die from trying to abort do it yourself.
DIY. People get stuck having a baby they can't look after. Men and women suffer from this, but most of the time, women suffer the most. It's ridiculous that this is a discussion. It's actually illegal.
Wait, someone says it's ridiculous as a discussion because it's actually illegal?
No. It's ridiculous because it's ridiculous that this is actually a discussion. Meaning, like, to him,
that it's
illegal. Very obvious that pro-choice is better than pro-life.
See, now look, wait. I want to address two things really, really quick. You can't have a man and female judge on the same. It's gonna literally be like looking at your mom and dad have a fight.
Yeah.
Almost every time they get the chance. You know what I mean? I don't remember where I heard this, but
these two might be more equipped to be a mother and father.
Who?
The judges. Yeah, they might be more equipped. A lot of times, mom and dads don't know what they're doing. They're just going with the flow.
But I just feel like it leaves too much room. I just feel like it leaves way too much room for an ego to get involved. Now, look, I know it contradicts it a little bit because the judge is supposed to be objective as possible. But listen, if a guy is standing next to a woman and vice versa, right, and it opposes their views, it could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and their views just oppose. You really don't know. You might cast one of these judges on the day where, like, a week before they got a divorce, and they at this point they fucking hate all men, or the dude is like, I hate all women. That bitch is taking me to court for everything I got.
Yeah, I live in court.
You know what I mean? And you know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like it's better to just have one say so. And there's no country that has two great dictators. You know what I mean? Or has two great presidents. It's always one.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't see it being. I don't see it working. Where you have bilateral judges or whatever the case is.
Right. But
and then the other thing was what the dude said from, where was he? Ireland?
Yeah, Northern Ireland.
I feel like it's a government's place, not to necessarily. It's not. I don't want to say it's their place to go with the trend of things, but I feel like it's their place to address.
So listen to the people.
Listen to the people and address miscomings of your country.
Yeah.
Like if it's true what he's saying, like there's just this disproportionate, ridiculous amount of women who's just like suffering because they have babies that they don't want to have, or and the dude is just, I'm not trying to like stereotype, the dude is just out drinking or something like that in the pub
because he can't.
He doesn't want to.
Yeah. It happens in America.
It happens in America. It happens everywhere.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a whole other topic, by the way.
Right.
That's
absentee fathers,
absentee dads. Please, I hope I remember to come back to that.
Okay.
But it's the government's job to look out for their people and to kind of understand where the shortcomings are and create laws that kind of lessen the blowback from what the people are going through. Like
right.
If the woman out here saying, yo, I'm having this kid and I don't want to have this kid, let me go to some weird doctor who's like underground. Why not just pass the law and make it legal?
Right. If they're gonna get it done anyway, why not make sure your citizens are safe while doing it? It makes sense to me. Like, I always figured if it should at least be a state choice. Like, you should leave it up to the state.
Yeah.
You like in New York City or any blue state, where you put that up for an option is probably gonna get, let the states choose for themselves.
Right.
Because that's clearly it differs. So just let the states choose for themselves and be done with it. Like, just wash your hands of it.
Yeah. I think government for the most part. Now I don't want to say for the most part, but I don't like that government is as involved in social affairs. I hate the fact that government's involved in social affairs because that's not. We're
the federal government, where like the federal government, where it's like something that's really popular in a few states or in a certain type of state, gets passed for everything. Where it gets passed for the whole country.
Yeah,
but it's really only a few states with a large number of people want it.
Yeah, like I don't. Well, that and on top of that, like for example, like I know we talked about this before. Like I don't. Like I'll just stick to the topic. Abortion, right? That should, to me, I think that should be that's a social issue. Like, what does it like as far as like, let's say she has the abortion, that doesn't affect anyone else's well-being, as far as I can tell.
Right.
It doesn't affect anyone else's well-being. You know, if that's what she wants to do, that's what she wants to do. I don't see why the government should be able to say no, you're not allowed to do that. And in turn, if she really, really doesn't want to have a baby, and then she goes to the underground doctor, it's like you're kind of forcing her. It's not. I don't say you're forcing her, but you're forcing her hand a little bit to do that. Really quick. Now I know some people might, if someone was thinking about it, I know some people might say, well, what about? Because I think New York just passed this law where if you want to get high, like on heroin or some shit, like they have centers. I don't know if it's New York. There's a state. I don't know what state it is, but they have centers where you could just go get high, like on heroin or crystal meth, and they provide the needles. They provide the clean needles so that you don't like share needles with other people. So yeah, you're still getting fucked up on heroin and crack or whatever you're doing.
But it's safely.
Right. I don't necessarily agree with that. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I might agree with that a little bit, bro. I don't feel like people should be doing crack or heroin or whatever they're doing, but at the same time, if they were
I don't
no crack.
I think if you're gonna have a center like that, just put that money into rehab centers, and try to get them off of the drug instead of maybe that is a rehab center. Maybe it's a rehab centers. Maybe it's like a rehab program where it's like a trap. You know, you put a trap out, you say, hey, come get this heroin needle. Yeah, the intervention, and you can't leave here until you're 6 months clean of heroin. And then the next time you're in here, you can't leave until you're a year off heroin.
Nah, but that's you just locking people up without telling them being locked up.
Nah, you're telling them. You say, hey, you can take this needle. Here's this needle. Here's also this piece of paper saying that you're agreeing to be here for the next 6 months because you want to get off of the needles, right?
Nah, bro, they're not gonna get high no more.
They're
not gonna get high no more at your establishment. They're gonna go back out and go.
Then you can get arrested later on for you can get arrested later sometime down the line. You're gonna end up getting arrested either way.
Do crackheads go to jail? I know it's a strange question, but I don't ever.
They don't go to jail for doing crack, but they do some crackhead shit and get locked up. That's what it is. I know this is a strange question. It's not even a strange question. It's just the reality of it. But the reality of it is, there's no you can't do crack recreationally. No. Like those hard drugs you can't do them recreationally.
You can't do heroin recreationally. You can't let 6 months go by and be like, yo, I'm gonna go do crack today.
Yeah. Who bought the crack rock?
It's not like
I need something with this drink.
Yeah, nah, you just can't. It's just all in all, I could see why someone would like not agree with it, but at the same time, I feel like if it's a problem that a lot of states still haven't been able to necessarily break, or like make a real breakthrough with rehabilitation. If the next line of defense is like to stop them from like getting some weird disease from sharing needles, I don't know. I might agree with it. I would have to think about it like more. But right now, I lean more towards.
Well, look, the thing is, right? What type of heroin addict is going to agree with that?
Yo, the last picture I seen, they were lined up, bro.
Well, no. What I'm trying to say is, this heroin addict cares somewhat about themselves, right? Or are they just doing it for the free heroin?
No, they're doing it. They're probably doing it for the free heroin, and maybe that little bit of piece of like their mind that's still like, well, you could get like. You could probably get disease from sharing a dirty needle, which I think is I feel like that's very rare if anything, but I feel like they're probably doing it because the heroin is there. I'm
saying they're probably looking.
I think they bring their own heroin, by the way.
Look, they gotta shut this program down.
They gotta
shut this program down.
I'm not gonna fight you too hard on them because I can see why you would say it. I don't even know. I can't say I understand 100% why I agree with it. I just most of me is just like. If they were going to be doing it anyway, and they've gone to intervention and all that stuff, and they still stay on it, if the next line of defense is like to just stop them from spreading diseases from like sharing dirty needles, because on top of that, like the nurses, like they take the dirty needles back and dispose of them. So it's like those little crack neighborhoods, they don't have like all the needles hanging around like on the floor because like,
right?
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I've seen that where we grew up. Like I remember I saw that on the beach one time, and I was younger, and in my head I was just like, I didn't realize why it was there. It would only like dawned on me like later in life, like why there would just be
a needle,
like an industry grade looking needle on the floor. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is like if we could clean that up and like
needle
imagine
changes are pretty important. I know a prison officer, lots of people die, get put in prison, and going cold turkey. Lots of people did get put in prison and go cold turkey.
Yeah, he's saying basically like they got, because I was actually gonna ask that. I was gonna talk about that really quick. I was gonna say that does happen, where like they get locked up and they're kind of like they're forced kind of into rehab. Which if that's the case, I think that's great.
Yeah,
I just don't necessarily know if that. I don't know if that handles the problem, like why they were on crack or heroin to begin with. Because a lot of times people get on those drugs just to escape reality.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, so let's say you put a crackhead in jail, right? And they go, obviously they have to go cold turkey because there's no crack in jail.
Yeah.
They get out in like 6-7 months. They can't get a job and they're back in the same position. They don't like the reality of that. They might just go back and crack.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
I just think there has to be more to it. I think there has to be, because it does make sense that these needle exchanges are good for the community, obviously. But I think there just should be, and maybe there should be more to it than just giving them a place to get high for free, or safely. I think like you really have to gotcha them and be like, hey, all right, gotcha. Now you got 6 months of rehab. Enjoy.
I'm not fighting you on. I think every time they get high should be met with a lecture.
Blow their whole high.
You blow their whole high and just be like, you're gonna die, right? And you just give them the meat. You know what I mean? I agree with that. You know what I mean? I can't pretend like they're not exchanging dirty needles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Drug addicts and homeless people also tend to have mental health issues as well, which makes it quite hard to find the logic in their decisions.
Yeah, I agree with that 100% too.
Yeah.
Yo, there was something that we were going through that I really, really want to talk about, and then I forgot what it was, and I want to get your opinion on it.
Like we were going through, or we were talking about?
No, we were talking about it, and then we like stepped on the topic, and I was thinking of just like writing it down or something, but I thought I would remember. I don't know why I thought I remember when I've been drinking, but damn, remember I was like, yo, try to remember it. Yo, if your memory shoots this, damn, I really wanted to ask you about it. What the fuck was it?
I don't think you told me. I think you just told me you wanted.
What was it?
So that guy must have burned himself out. How was it? Was it how I am 12 years old and have autism? Like I must have burned himself out.
No, it's not even that. It was, it's not that I burned myself out.
No. He's talking about John Deere.
Oh, is John Deere still there?
Nah, he left.
Damn. Yeah, what John Deere was just going off?
Yeah. They got into like an argument about Trump and stuff, and then Westwick left it alone and John Deere kept going. So we called John Deere on it, and I guess he got mad and left.
But we didn't call him out on that.
We kind of did. We just like, I was like, John Deere's popping off, and you were like, John Deere, leave him alone. And then after that, he stopped talking and he left.
It was more of a joke though than like really like
coming
down on
if we see the chat and Westwick is just talking to us being normal, and we see John Deere like commenting every other thing, it just looks weird to me. I think I was projecting.
I find, to be honest with you, it's really,
maybe reading the chat I'll be able to see.
It's super interesting that people get as upset as they do with politics that they do. I don't feel like politics should make people upset anymore. I don't feel like it should.
It's not politics, right? It's just being disagreed with. Someone not having the same opinion. But it could be about anything. I used to get heated when people didn't like the shows I like. I don't do it anymore.
But is it heated though?
Yeah, I would get heated. Thanks for the follow, Tindy.
I feel like look,
How do you say your name, man?
like Paula, you know what you should do if it's really that difficult to say your name? You should respond. Like, you know how when you go to Google and you look up a word,
Text to speech.
Nah, and it just be like they just split up all the letters. Yo, I was about to go so far, but never.
I'm still trying to remember what you were saying. Before.
Nah, it might come to me, maybe not, but I feel like politics is so ridiculous that you shouldn't really get upset about it. Really, I feel like you can have I think you should have your opinion, and if someone else doesn't happen to agree, then it should just be that.
Right.
You're like, all right, yeah, I can't make you see my way or but it's just so ridiculous, yo. It's just so ridiculous that it shouldn't be like the focal point of where everyone's like discord comes from. It shouldn't be like I'm a Trump supporter and I'm not a Trump supporter, and then like now it's like Marvel versus, you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like it should be that way.
Tindy is fine, gotcha.
Because it's so much. Everyone's always gonna have a side for one, and two. You won't really 100% know that you're right.
Right.
I know that sounds strange because everyone feels like their side is going to be common sense, or everyone feels like their side is going to be right. But like, try to just have an opinion, but don't necessarily like let your opinion have you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but some people find like they find conviction in their opinion, like that it becomes their identity. And I think that's part of the big issue where it's just like this person disagreeing with who I am as a person. So now I have to fight back as hard as I can.
But you're not real. I get that, man. But try to kind of like, I would hope because I feel like people should look at it like I'm not politics necessarily.
Right.
Like who wants to really be their politics?
Bro, you're gonna be on all the time. You don't have no time to chill if you're your politics all the time.
You know, like I've met people like that, and it's weird. It's a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like someone who's solely focused, like every aspect. It seems like any conversation that comes up is like definitely gonna be like hardened.
So I started following. Yeah, hold on. I started following news for a month, and it was amazing. I was so much happier coming back after a break.
Yo, okay, sorry.
Come back after a break makes it all look so ridiculous. Was that it?
No. But I just got hyped because I did that before, and it changed my life. But anyway,
it's quite hard not to get upset living in the UK with Brexit and shit happening right now, especially living in Northern Ireland. But it's very similar with the opinions in America with Trump and shit. What do I do? What I do now is read everything from all sides, formulating my own opinion, from reading between the gaps, and being in the constant state of hysteria doesn't do you any good.
You cannot. I couldn't listen. I'm not trying to deter anyone from having a political view. I think you should. I honestly think inherently, I think you should. Because there's a lot of things that happen day to day, and there's just certain things that you're probably not going to agree with. That's fine. Yeah. I just feel like it shouldn't necessarily be like if someone disagrees with you, you then become the type of person to like call someone dumb or stupid because that's their opinions that they agree with.
Yeah.
Now look, I'm not gonna lie here. I have been known to do that when it comes to like AOC. I have done that.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it doesn't like consume me in every topic or every conversation that I ever have. And I just feel like I know people who are like that.
Yeah. I think when someone feels like their livelihood is being AOC the bartender, yeah. When someone's livelihood is being threatened by a policy or by the other side of politics, I feel like that's when they feel strongest about it, because it's like it's offensive in the sense where it's like you're trying to take away my livelihood, or you're trying to take away this right from me.
Right.
I think that's also another spot where it gets really heated in between both sides.
But I just would hope that people realize that it's not necessarily what's going on with the person you're having the conversation with type of deal.
Right. Because it's Joe.
It's, you know what I mean? It's regular Joe. He doesn't have any power like in.
Yeah, but in a way he does because he votes, right? You would hope that both of these people who are engaging in a political conversation, you hope both of them vote, right? Because if they both have an opinion and they're both taxpayers and they both want to see a difference, you hope that they're both voting. So it's kind of like it's like a small tiny battle where you're trying to take his vote, and use it to your
trying to convert them.
Yeah.
That's
what it is.
Yo, I hope people are not moving through life like that. Like you can't.
I think the political people are.
The political people,
yeah, those political people are.
Yeah, because I'm fine with that as that being their job. But regular Joe Schmoes, like let's say you and your friend just on the construction site and you're just like, I'm gonna convert him into a Republican today. Like I feel like that's a little bit strange because.
No, it's not that I'm gonna convert him to a Republican. It's more like he just said something that I don't agree with. He might vote for. I think that's like the lowest level of it, or that's like the deep. That's where it goes. Like he might vote for something that's against me. Let me try to get him to change his mind so he doesn't vote for something that's against me. I think that's where it leads to.
That's such a strange way to like interact with people. I feel like
that's why you're not supposed to talk about politics.
No, see, I feel you should be able to talk about anything. And I feel like anything you want to really talk about, no matter how uncomfortable or weird or strange it is, you should be able to talk about it. Especially politics and religion to me, I think they're fun topics. I don't necessarily see why people get upset about them. No, I'm not gonna look. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah, you get why people get upset about them, but I don't think they should.
I don't exactly.
Yeah.
Another thing. When you there's people who I get why people don't like Donald Trump. I get it.
Yeah.
But there are other things that he does that if you let your hate, let's say you hate him, if you let your hate consume it, right? You're not gonna think anything he does is funny.
It's funny.
It's funny. He does. You can't.
Bro.
The guy is. You can't.
Yo, his tweets are. His tweets are pretty good.
You cannot say certain shit he does. You chuckle a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the other day, I watched one thing where he had I don't even know why this was press coverage, really. But he was like, they were like, Donald Trump serves Burger King and McDonald's at the White House press conference.
No, he served Burger King to I think some kids who won some football games.
No. It was like a real board meeting with all the big name politicians, and they were all just eating Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's. And he was like, I love American companies, and it was just like, if you don't think that's funny, or you don't feel like that's or you don't see the lightheartedness in that, it's just because your opinion has you at that point,
right?
Because when I saw it, I laughed at it because first of all, it's a silly thing to have a legitimate video about the president. That shouldn't be coverage that he's serving McDonald's, to big name politicians. That's number one. Number two, and then when I went to the comments, I saw people this is what made me realize people are gonna hate if they feel like hating, right? And I know for a fact, if he was serving $1,000 plates, people say, that's what you're using tax dollars for?
Right.
But then he served McDonald's and Wendy's and stuff like that, and people you couldn't get them anything better? It's you're never really going to win on all sides.
Nah, of course not. I don't think so.
You know what I mean? Just, all I'm saying is don't let your opinion have you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stay lighthearted, man.
Tindy says the whole us versus them idea doesn't help anyone in any situation. I have some pretty good Westwick says I have some pretty good sources on current events. Fascinating to see how people eat up the news like it's gospel. Then he says, for me, I get more upset because of the naivety. Put it this way, Brexit could trigger another war in Northern Ireland. It's already starting, and no one in England knows or cares. A lot would rather pretend it's not happening. I talk about stuff to raise awareness more than anything else. And then Westwick says Trump is an agent of chaos. A little unpredictability is a good thing. I mean, all of New Zealand laughed at him today for tweeting his condolences. That was pretty funny. What?
No, I know what he's saying.
All of New Zealand laughed at him today for tweeting his condolences?
Because they feel like he was saying it just to say it. At least that's what I'm getting from that. He's saying that he was saying it just to say it, and he probably doesn't really care. It's like misplaced condolences type of thing. Look, man, all I'm saying is try to look at it. Try not to necessarily be so serious about politics.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
What, the condolences?
No, that they were laughing at him. That they were laughing at his condolence message.
I don't think there's a video for it. I think he's just saying like that's how the
That was their reaction.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't think it should be the end all be all of a conversation. Like I don't feel like if you just like have some sort of you have a conversation with someone about politics and you guys disagree, that it should then be like, well, he's a leftist or he's a rightist or whatever.
Or even worse, he's racist. Or even worse, he's a liberal cuck.
Really quick though, can someone from a different race be friends with a racist? Like, can say like an Asian person be friends with someone who hates Asian people?
Can they?
Yeah.
Like literally, can they or should they?
No, definitely not should. Because I'm not even prepared to even dive into should they.
Right. Can they?
Can they?
Yeah.
Or do you feel like there are relationships out there like that now?
Yeah, of course.
Like someone's friends with someone who, like the racist is the racist towards the friend that, like, the race of what the friend is.
Like knowingly? Like
knowingly.
KKK and all that?
Like, look, I know you go up to these rallies or whatever, but I'm still your friend, bro.
Yeah, I'm in deep thought. Man.
Yo, this is.
Sheesh. Can they?
I think they can. 100%, I think they can. No, still no for you.
It depends on the person.
Nah, come on.
It still depends on the person, because I think if you're I don't know, if you're like a sensitive person, or you're like insecure or whatever, or if you have like a lot of anxiety, I think no matter what that person says, you're always gonna think that person hates you because of who you are, or because of your race. So I think it really depends on the person. That's why I said can or should, because I think anyone can.
Okay.
But it's just like, are you really going to be comfortable with them saying some fucked up shit, and then thinking like when they leave, like, damn, does he think that about me when I'm not around, or does he think that about me when I am around?
Right.
Like, and am I okay with that? Am I okay with him? Like, any little comment that he makes, you're gonna think it's about you.
I see what you mean.
You know?
I feel like the way I think about things will make me feel like I could be jumping out the window with this idea, but because I already feel like racism, for the most part is something that's, if it's out there, I feel like it's something that's taught, and I feel like anything could be like
Untaught.
Yeah. However, I do feel like at the same time, the person probably still holds it. That it's in their head. It's a seed that's in their head. It's planted there. You know what I mean? And if they have that feeling already, I can't necessarily change that feeling. But if you happen to be their friend, it might make them say, I might have been wrong.
Right. True. I recognize that too, where it's just like, you become that beacon of like, oh, they're not all like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. If you call someone an idiot, they don't stop being an idiot. Would you be friends with someone who's a racist?
Would I be friends with someone who's a racist?
Yeah. But we'll answer that for sure. Westbrook says, but sharing ideas is of mutual benefit. Well, it depends on what you call friends. For example, plenty of my family hold racist views, and for all I know, some of my friends might too.
if I disown these people, there's no hope for them ever changing or widening their outlook. Exactly. If that person comes from a racist background, but they aren't inherently racist, maybe you being their friend might make them learn, open their minds.
Look. This is, I'm gonna jump a little bit right here, and I know I'm jumping a little bit, but that's the reason why I'm going off right now. Like, I'm going way deep, but I'm reaching right now. But that's kind of what Jesus was.
Okay.
Like, I used to read the Bible a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I used to read it a lot, and I just tried to figure out what the fucking stories were about. Because I never really necessarily took it, like, from the religious point of view, but I kind of just would read the stories, and I would just like the stories. Yeah. But one of the things, I haven't read in a while, so, this might be off a little bit, but there was a time where he was, like, hanging around with, like, prostitutes and, like the scoundrels. And a lot of people who were his followers were like, you're Jesus. Like, why are you hanging around with, people who are like beneath you or people who are sinners? Yeah. And he kind of took the same point of view, which is like, well, if you want them to change, and you never go next to them or you treat them as lepers or whatever the case is, how do you expect them to change if they don't have a real, true example of someone who can help them change? Right. I'm not saying, look, and with that statement, I'm not saying like to just go around to like all the racist rallies that could be out there and be like, I want to be your friend, buddy. I'm just saying that to not necessarily treat it like they're evil and there's no point in even trying to talk to them because of that. Because there's a really good chance a lot of that shit is just learned. Right. Or, I'm not going to lie to you, there's a chance that they might have gone through something and that traumatizes them and makes them feel like, okay, all women are like this. Right. Perfect example. Liam Neeson, bro, he's been going on for the last like 2 months, bro.
I think after that first it wasn't a tirade. After his first incident, it wasn't.
My man Liam Neeson went straight taken. He went straight taken. He really thinks he's taken. Like, he really went.
Yeah, or he thought he was.
You know what I mean? But look, if that really happened to him and he's traumatized, he's traumatized. You know what I mean? But I feel like that was so long ago that maybe now to this day he maybe doesn't necessarily think that way. I don't know.
And I think we spoke about this on one of the first episodes.
If we did, I don't remember.
Let's not forget Kramer. Hey, what's up, Steffi?
Really quick about Kramer. All right, go.
With Liam Neeson, right?
Let me just put it. Let me write it down because I'm gonna fucking forget.
With Liam Neeson, I don't think so much that it was a race thing with Liam Neeson. It was a race thing in the sense that it happened to be a black person that did that, thing that raped his sister. Mm-hmm. But if you had told him that it was a white guy, he would have been looking for a white guy. If you told him if it was an Asian guy, he would have been looking for an Asian guy.
He would have gone. I truly feel that.
That's the thing with him. It just happened to be a black guy, and that's why he said it with such confidence in that interview because he knows he's not racist.
Yeah, he that situation made him like that. Yeah, the scenario of that situation made him like that. I don't really feel like he's like all, everyone is like that. I feel he just went through it and he's traumatized by it,
and he realized it was toxic too. Like, he was like, "What am I doing? I can't really be doing this." Yeah, He realized quickly he was out of line. Then he decided to fully self-destruct. Someone says, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is also borderline, but Kramer. Let's get into Kramer.
Okay, so the thing with Kramer, right? I've seen the video. Yeah. Okay. I've seen the video. However, I don't know what was said on the other side. Right. I don't know. This is the problem with a lot of these videos. Like, you see the crazy part of the video. Most people, when they act crazy, they acting crazy to either defend themselves from something. Yeah. I don't know what happened.
What's up, UTR? How you doing?
I don't know what happened before the video. And I don't know if he did the same thing a lot of people do when they get angry. Which is, let me just say something that I know is going to hurt somebody or I know is going to get on their nerves. I feel like that's what happened. Like, even I'm not trying to be the authority on people who say it. I'm just saying that it didn't necessarily seem. It seemed like he was trying to like be outrageous in like some sort of parody form of how he thinks they view him.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It seemed like he was trying to portray what he thinks they think of him already in that video. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
it makes sense, but I don't think I agree.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't 100% know.
Right.
I'm just saying that that's what it seems like happened. Because when it cuts to the video, it just seems like he's just yelling it. It's not like he's calling them a whole bunch of words and then saying you dirty, blah blah blah.
Right.
It just sounds like he's just yelling it. Like,
okay.
Is that? I don't know if I'm sounding.
No, it makes sense, but I think it might be the other way around. I'm gonna get to that, but Cindy says, I live in a small village where everyone is white. I come from a town outside of London where there is a huge mix of ethnicities and nationalities. People in this village tend to say things that they might not realize are racist or discrimination. I've had conversations with these people, and they genuinely did not realize what they were doing because they aren't exposed to that. But when they knew what they were saying was wrong, they genuinely felt bad. Michael Richards looked like he had some kind of paranoid anxiety. He said the worst thing he could think of.
That's what I'm trying to. That's the vibe I get from that video. Like the vibe I get from that video, he wasn't like. It doesn't seem like that's just how he thinks in general. It just seems like he was upset.
He was like lashing out.
It seemed like he was lashing out at being heckled. That's really what I think. But he probably just went too far. And just,
but I think the way he went about it was like too much. I think the way he went about it was like too much. So that was really my issue with it, was that you can choose a million ways to heckle, but you're not gonna say jokes. You're just gonna be like, you're black, you need to be lynched. That's not like to me, that was that's what always, something like that is what makes me think someone is racist. You know, where it's like, it's more than just the N-word. It's like, even if he doesn't really believe it, him saying the worst thing that he could do is like super degrading to that group of, to that person. That's what makes me think they may be racist.
I see that. I just feel like if you're upset with someone, then you say, like if he knew them personally, I feel like he would have said something else. Okay. You know what I mean? To dig the dagger, but he didn't know them personally, so he just went to the next. I feel like he just went to the next line of defense, which was that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, look, I get what you're saying. Like, cause most people, that's not really like
that's not their go-to.
That's not their go-to like heckle defense. You know what I mean? Most of the time, it is just like, oh, I'm gonna joke on you now. Yeah. It's not like I'm just gonna yell out shit that could be considered to be racist. Yeah. Do I think he's racist? I don't really.
Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. The answer to that, I guess, is who knows. I
don't know if it's whether. I don't know if the debate is Michael Richards racist. Is what, and I guess I think I worded it wrong earlier, but that tirade was racist. I feel like that was that would be considered a racist tirade. Is Michael Richards racist? No, but has he done something that is racist? I would say yeah.
Look, me. You already know me.
Yeah. Right.
Me, I'm always like, I need a little bit more evidence to prove someone's racist. Like, and I know that sounds like I'm kind of, I don't say flip-floppy, but.
You know, something like physical.
If anger's not involved, this is how I would demonstrate that. If anger isn't involved, and the person, if anger's not involved, and it has nothing to necessarily do with a stereotype, right? It's like a trifecta. If anger's not involved, if it has nothing to do with a stereotype, and if it does have something to do with stereotype, if you haven't thought it yourself, then maybe I'd be more likely to consider something to be racist. Like, if someone said that, I don't know, if someone was walking through a bad neighborhood that has a lot of black people in it, and when they get home, they talk to their friends like, I'm glad I made it home. I thought walking here was gonna get me robbed.
Yeah.
Right? Growing up in the hood, I've thought that.
Right.
In certain neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So that I can't use something like that to say like that's saying something racist because I thought it and I'm black and how can it be racist if I'm, you know what I mean? I feel like if it passes those three criterias, then and it still might be a big maybe. Then maybe I'll be like, okay,
yeah,
that's racist.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I can understand if someone says like I'm being a sellout or something, but I'm telling you, anyone, it's not. Look, the crazy thing is, it's not even just. It's like people who actually are hood still move that way in the hood.
Yeah, I can't be here for too long.
You understand what I'm saying? Like even people in the hood know certain neighborhoods not to go in, and they're hood people, so that makes them racist because they just stereotype.
Yeah, they're racist against Bloods.
Come on.
Seriously, let me say, guys, I think it's really awesome you two just sit down and talk about things like this. That's really important, man. People don't do it anymore these days. Thanks. And yeah, it's kind of
some people might say we talk too much.
Like I might say we jump topics too much. I mean, it just got heavy here, but we were just talking about like Marvel movies earlier.
Yo, listen.
It makes them practical. Yeah, it does. It makes them practical.
The fact, it bothers me a little bit that we were talking about Marvel and ended up here.
Yeah.
That bothers me a little bit.
That's the point of the show.
Can I, wait, and I know I'm jumping again.
Yeah.
There's someone that I just don't like seeing in Marvel movies. Or I don't really see his purpose in the Marvel movies. I feel like you could have really taken him out and you wouldn't even really know. But the dude with the wings in
Falcon?
Do we need Falcon?
We need Falcon. Hold on. I'm going to explain why we need Falcon in a second. You're deaf something different for sure. Most channels isn't just chatting or some girl dancing and bouncing up down like 20% clothes. That's true.
Can I be honest with everyone right now?
Yeah.
I'm not going to blame you if you leave this and go look at a girl who's bouncing up and down. I'm not going to blame you.
Is Velvet 7 live? This is one Korean girl named Velvet 7. Huge titties. Huge. And she wears like a really low cut shirt. Look, and she's just playing Just Dance.
I'm not gonna blame anyone who leaves for that. I can't blame you for that.
Yeah.
I have to identify with you for that because I might.
Westwick knows, man. I don't watch Velvet 7. If I found you're a Velvet 7 sub, Westwick, I'm gonna ban you.
Yo, I might go.
You're gonna look up Velvet 7 after we end the stream.
No, after the stream is over, I'm definitely that's exactly where I'm going right after this, but I can't blame someone for that.
Yeah. They know that. They know that. Man, like the Korean women, who like couldn't be idols.
What, like Korean idols?
Yeah, like who couldn't be like in a K-pop band or some shit. They couldn't do that, so they went to Twitch and they went to the Just Chatting section and they chill out there.
Yo, something I hate. I hate when like I go to look up something that I could tell most people feel is stupid and dumb. But then I go look it up and then please don't do this. I'm not, look, I don't know if it's the same person. I don't know if it's the person that you're gonna say you don't like. I really don't know. But I went to look at this. It's like a Korean. It's like a Korean metal pop group. I forgot what their name is. I think they're Baby Bash or some shit like that. I forgot. Yo, the music.
It doesn't matter who it is, man.
Bro, it's really not. It's not that bad. I'm not. Look, it's not something I'm gonna download and have like on the way to work. I'm just saying I can see why it might be catchy. I'm not saying I'm on board with it. I'm just saying it's a little bit catchy. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, it's the K-pop is no good.
But it's rock.
No, anything. Don't do it. All they do is they look, someone asked about cultural appropriation. We're gonna get into that right now, because
Someone asked about cultural appropriation just now.
yeah. Tinny asked about it.
First of all,
Steffi Webb says I watched the retro. Because we'll get into it heavy. I think that'll be the last topic for the show. Because I feel like we're gonna spend a lot of time on cultural appropriation.
maybe.
But Steffi Webb says I watched the retro channel a lot, and it impressed me how much money some of them pull
Yo,
in just the night. Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
Oh, this conversation is veering towards porn. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Baby metal. Baby metal is
I think that's it.
Baby metal's Japanese.
What did I say?
Korean. Baby metal's Japanese, and one of the girls left recently. I think. I don't listen to baby metal though.
Look, I'm not gonna say that I have it on the download list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say I have it on the list like to work out. I'm just saying I can see why the seats look packed in there.
Right. I've heard like one of their songs, but I did try to listen to them,
and it was
I didn't say with it.
I didn't listen to it like saying like, oh, this is it, bro. I'm changing up the music game for myself.
Yeah, they don't even like metal. It's a gimmick. Yeah.
I just wanted to check it out.
Right.
It wasn't bad.
All right. So Tindy's question, kind of on the same topic. What's your opinion on white people with dreads? Do you think it's cultural appropriation? I didn't read that part. I just read cultural appropriation.
Yo.
What's baby metal? Baby metal is like a Japanese rock group. It's a Japanese idol group, and they perform rock music. Are white people with dreads cultural appropriation? My culture.
You go first.
Look, I'm not. I can't be the whatever the guy is who like says everything. I can't be the person who says. No, it's more than J-rock. It's like they do like death metal. They do death metal, but they sing it in cute voices, pretty much. But I can't be the guy that says it's cultural appropriation because my culture doesn't have dreadlocks like that. To Haitians, dreadlocks is like an American thing. You know, if you want to like if you go to your Haitian mom and dad and you're like, I want to get dreads, like, why do you have to be like Black Americans? Like that's what they'll say, and that's more of like a Jamaican thing. I would say I don't see why white people would want dreads because your hair is long on its own.
Okay.
So you wanting to get dreads automatically makes it seem like you're doing something extra, and that's why people call it out. That's all I can say about it. That's my opinion on it. It just looks like you're doing something extra. It doesn't look good anyway. So people calling you out on it because you don't need. They did it to make their hair long, or they did it to. I think for some it's like a religious thing. It's how they keep they keep cutting their hair without cutting it, but somehow make it like be neat. But that's. I think cultural appropriation is like. That's like the. I guess it's too harsh, right? It's too harsh
to give out to like a white person who has dreads.
Yeah, I think it's too harsh. Oh, you're talking about but I'm sorry.
I
Westbrook.
Don't even necessarily believe in cultural appropriation. I don't believe in it because
I get that.
If someone is feeling it, right?
Yeah.
Let them feel it, man.
It's cultural appreciation.
Thank you, bro. It's cultural appreciation. We're gonna change the world today. I've been drinking too much. We're gonna change the world today by changing the term cultural appropriation to cultural appreciation. If someone is feeling dreads, and on top of that, I hate to go into this because I feel like somehow I still get into this. If she's fire, if she's dope and she looks dope and she has a body and she's like, and she wants to have dreads, can you just let her have dreads? Because it might really look dope on her for one.
Yeah.
That's number one. Like I've seen Asian girls with dreads, and the ones that do it, that shit looks.
I've never seen that. That'd be a sight to see.
It looks kind of dope to me. But I understand why someone's like, cultural, whatever. Yeah. But I'll say that. I'll say this, bro. If someone is feeling it, if someone's like, yo, I'm not black, but I want dreads.
Mm.
They should be able to get dreads without people being like, yo, why are you trying to be black? They just like their haircut. They like their hairstyle.
Right.
Let them vibe out. Let them rock out with their hairstyle, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm about to bring up? I gotta bring up my guy.
Mars?
No, we're gonna bring up Bruno. We might have to bring up my man Bruno Mars right after this because he's a phenomenal musician. But the other dude who wants to do the moonwalk.
Oh God.
Let my man do what's his name?
Graham Northam or something like that.
Let Graham Northam do the moonwalk. All right. Okay, I get he's white. Okay, he wanted to be Michael Jackson. Let him dress up like Michael Jackson and do the moonwalk. He loves Michael Jackson.
What makes sense for me is, if someone is into a different culture, it's a form of tribute. Different if someone's claiming they are white when they are not. There's a big difference between the individual and a company exploiting different cultures. That's true.
If someone was to bring up cultural appropriation and it was synonymous with a corporate entity, then I might be more likely to look at it and say, okay, that is cultural appropriation. But a single individual who's just like, yo, I think dreads are dope, and I think wearing certain clothes the way I want to wear it is dope, and it's not necessarily the stereotypical way for them to wear their clothes, and that's considered cultural appropriation. I feel like that's not fair. They think it's dope. They want to dress like that. Let them dress like that.
Right.
And I think if someone even subscribes to cultural appropriation, that kind of makes you someone who stereotypes people.
Yeah, because they're not supposed to.
You shouldn't even be putting people in a box enough to say, oh, this person is trying to be black,
right,
or this person's trying to be Chinese,
yeah,
or whatever the case is. That's not fair.
Having dreads is just something that looks nice, so a lot of people do it. The people I know do it for personal preference and not because they're trying to mimic a culture. Tindy says, because I used to have dreads. She's a white girl. This was before it blew up on social media, but when I had dreads, I got them because I liked them. And my point against the idea is that throughout history, before hairbrushes, everyone had dreads or in some form. I also used to date a guy from Barbados, and his family used to love them. But people used to call me out on it. Haha. Well, if you do have anything uncommon, you get attention for it. James Brown has some explaining to do with that straight, beautiful brown hair.
You know what? I was gonna go into that just now. I swear on my life. I feel like but that kind of goes into the same conversation of Beyonce.
With her having blonde hair.
I feel like
she's had blonde hair for the longest.
I feel like if someone has the nerve to say some shit about cultural appropriation and they don't bring both sides of the story, they don't bring up Beyonce having blonde hair for mad long, you're being a hypocrite.
Most people don't see the connection to a culture with their hair. It's the same thing with wearing a turban.
But a turban's not. Look, I get what he's saying, but it's not like everyone's rushing to wear a turban. Right. It's not like it's like, look, a turban isn't necessarily looking like as dope as dreads. Right. So I can see why people aren't necessarily like rushing to be like, yo, let me go cop the next turban. Yeah. Like the next new era turban.
So what about when? Well, actually, my question is kind of it's kind of whack. But I think in 2018, Nike came out with like athletic turbans or like athletic. I
think that's dope.
They're not all called turbans. There's the ones that hijab. They came out with athletic hijab. That's not cultural appropriation, right?
I don't think so. I think they just looked at a market and they said if they decide they don't want to wear it, let's make something for them to wear. Right. But look, man, I think if you want to wear dreads no matter what color you are, fucking wear dreads, man. Yeah. That's how I feel about it. If you want to get a perm in your head and you don't, you want to make your hair straight, then go ahead and do that. If that's the visual that you like when you see in the mirror, you do that. And I don't see why the world has an opinion as to how someone can or can't dress.
And there's a little bit of hypocrisy, and this might kind of jump subjects a little bit. There's a little bit of hypocrisy with black people wanting to straighten their hair and white people wanting to get dreads, where like one is cultural appropriation, is one is like, oh, we're subscribed, that we've been programmed to subscribe to European beauty standards, so we have to do this, or we have to perm our hair, or we have to
I'm not
get
even
weed.
feeling that. I'm not feeling that at all because you don't have no one on this planet at this stage. I don't say no one on this planet because I'm being extra, but just try to follow what I'm saying. No one has to do anything they don't want to do.
True.
If you want to wear afro, then go ahead and wear afro. It's up to you. It's not.
It's basically not an issue, but cultural appropriation made a few good headlines. You don't
It
see very
does.
much now.
To me, it's fun to talk about. I feel like it's fun to talk about. I don't take it super serious because I don't think it's a real issue that even should be something that like makes headline news.
Yeah. I wish I had an afro.
Yo, man, like I don't think it's something that should be headline news. I think if someone wants to look a certain way, let them look a certain way.
What about that Sean King guy?
Sean King.
Yeah, Sean King is like
Let me look this up, bro.
Sean King is basically like any outrage that happens. Sean King is like at the forefront of it.
Sean King.
Yeah, he's like, you guys should be mad at this.
Oh, I thought they were talking about Sean Kingston. My bad.
And the thing is that literally nobody talks about Sean Kingston.
Yo, and Sean Kingston had some hits, bro.
He had one hit.
It wasn't one hit. I think it was two, bro. Oh Lord, yo, he had some hits.
That's one hit.
I know, but he had some other hits.
Oh man, I love Sean Kingston.
Yo, hold on, wait. Oh God, look, guys, wait, bro. We might have. I don't know how long this one's gonna go. Look, hold on.
Yeah.
First of all, the first thing, I just looked him up, right? I never heard of this guy. My eyes just zoned in on promote social justice causes, including the Black Lives Matter movement. Look, man, I gotta be very honest with everyone, right? And I know I might get hate for this. I don't subscribe to the idea of Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
I feel I'm gonna say the cliche rebuttal. I'm gonna say the cliche rebuttal right now.
Okay. I will say the cliche rebuttal to the cliche rebuttal.
The cliche rebuttal that I have to say is all lives matter.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Now I have to say Black Lives Matter does mean all lives matter. Yes. That's the cliche rebuttal.
Yo, I pulled that back way too hard.
Right. Yeah, it does mean that because Black Lives Matter doesn't necessarily exclude anybody else. In the perfect world, because I don't necessarily subscribe to Black Lives Matter all that much too, just because it's too vague of a movement. It's not something real.
It's very broad, man.
Yeah, it's too vague of a movement, so I can't subscribe too much to Black Lives Matter. But in the ideal world, Black Lives Matter would work solely towards making sure that everyone understood that, so that it can become all lives matter. So that, like, yeah, again, in the perfect world, Black Lives Matter's goal would be to stop saying Black Lives Matter and to like make it into like all lives matter.
Okay.
That should be, I feel like that should be their goal. Okay, guys, I'm gonna sleep. It's 4 a.m. here. Yatira, thanks for stopping by, bro.
Yo, a lot of people be like, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, we got a lot of EU viewers. Black Lives have a lot of shady influences. You guys have really solid opinions on every side. It's really interesting, and I really enjoy the discussions. Thanks, Cindy. And they say there's a lot of incidents to gain traction. The concept is good, but the actual organization is sketchy. That's how I feel about it. The concept is good. It's really good. It's got great intentions.
Okay.
It's got great intentions. It was birthed out of something that moved a lot of people, you know. They had to speak up about it. It just wasn't carried out well. It's not organized well. Too much stuff happens in between. Everyone within it is too divided, and they're all just under the same umbrella when it's really like 18 different factions under there. Right. You know, so I do agree with you, and I just have to defend. Thanks for the follow, Yatira. I just want to defend the few people in there who like actually have like the real good intentions and like really believe in it and want to make it all lives matter.
I agree with you, but I want to raise you $1,000 right now.
Okay.
I wanna slide a chip towards your way.
They faked bomb threats and took money from very bad people. Thanks.
If someone could remind me to come back to that. The thing that tarnishes, here's what tarnishes Black Lives Matter, the entire Black Lives Matter movement. If Black Lives Matter didn't arise, let's think about the rise of it and what kind of, I don't say what birthed it, but what kind of gave some birth to it. I don't even know if that makes sense. But
I get what you mean.
What tarnishes Black Lives Matter is that the precursor to it was a lot of videos that came from police brutality.
Yeah.
Right? Now, being someone who just is watching the video, I'm gonna give the first feeling I get in my gut, because I'm learning more in life to just kind of just go with whatever I feel in my gut first. And I know some people might say that's dumb or that's immature, but a lot of what tarnishes Black Lives Matter is the gut feeling that most people probably feel when they watch those police brutality videos.
Yeah.
If a police is telling you to do something, why can't you just comply in order to stop them from using excessive force?
Right.
And I know someone would say, look, excessive force doesn't mean you got to kill somebody. I'm not saying it does. I'm not saying it does at all.
Right.
All I'm saying is, let's play chess. If that's what's going on, right, and you feel like your life is at danger when you run into a white cop or whatever the case is, let's play chess. Why don't you comply?
Right.
Beat them to it. Beat them to whatever's gonna lead them to taking your life away.
Right.
Why don't you just comply? Even if you take something as simple, and I don't even want to talk about someone who's I don't really want to talk about someone who's dead, because it's fucked up, because their family is still in it. And I'm sure their family loves the guy and misses him, to the core. But if they're saying to get down on the ground, right? Even if you're upset with these cops, right? Maybe they did something to you like 3 years ago or something like that. They're always gonna. That just seems to always be the end game of the cop that people don't like. Does that make sense? Kind of.
Right. It does.
Like, this guy's out here selling illegal cigarettes, right? He shouldn't be selling illegal cigarettes. They come and they say, yo, stop selling, you shouldn't be doing this, get down on the ground or whatever. I'm paraphrasing, I'm kind of speeding shit up, but that's what happened, right? He was reluctant to get down to the ground. They had to wrestle him to the ground.
Yeah.
Right? The idea that we're now going to hold the police accountable.
Thanks for the follow. Really long name ending with clock.
The idea that we're going to now hold these police accountable for doing their job, and maybe it went too far. What are we trying to gain here? Like, what is the other side of it? Okay, he's allowed to break the law, and they should be more gentle with him because he's black now. I get confused.
Right.
I really do get confused with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not supposed to be out there. They told him to get on the ground. He didn't get on the ground willingly. Whatever they did ended up leading to his death. All I can piece together, the way I move around my life,
is that it wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't have happened if you just said, you know what, you guys got me. You know what I mean? This is on a way, way, way lower level. I remember being in high school, right? And a teacher told me, yo, he saw me doing another teacher's homework. Yeah. In his class. He was like, I don't want to see you doing someone else's homework in my class. I was like, all right, cool. As soon as he turned around, I started doing the homework again. Right? He walks past and sees me doing the homework. He said, he puts me on blast in front of the whole class. You know what I mean? He's like, didn't I tell you didn't I tell you not to do that? Yeah. I get upset and I start cursing him out. Yeah. He sends me to the principal's office. Yeah. Right? As far as high school is concerned, if your parents figures out you went to the principal's office, at least our parents, if they figure out you went to the principal's office, you might as well be dead, because the beating they're going to give you when you get home, you're going to wish you was dead. Yeah. You feel me? Would that have happened? The way I have to look at life is, would that have happened if I decided to comply with him because he's the authority? Would that have happened if I decided, all right, you know what, let me comply with the authority, close it down? You know what I mean? Right. I feel it's the same thing with a lot of these people who end up, either dying due to police brutality or what people consider police brutality. It's like if you had complied, the police are not just gonna. I just don't see a scenario where the police are just gonna be like, I'm just gonna pick on a random black person who complied with me.
Right.
I don't see it. If someone could enlighten me to it, fine. I'm all for it. I'm not like tied to my opinions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard someone say this before. I'm not married to it.
Right.
I'm not married to my opinions. I'm just saying if someone could show me a scenario like that, or a couple of them,
I think there's like
fine.
a glaring one where it was like, there's like a glaring one where two cops like stopped these guys who they said had just like left the park or something like that, and then without any real reason, the cop was like, "Yo, I see Shake at the bottom of the."
The dude's name was Shake?
No. Shake is like like when you grind bud.
Oh,
when you grind
little...
weed, yeah. He's like, I see Shake on the floor over there. Can you please step out the vehicle? I have suspicion that you have marijuana, or you smoking marijuana, or you're in possession of marijuana.
Okay.
And the dude just complies the entire time.
Okay.
But while he's doing it, he's still questioning the officer. He's like, I don't know why you're doing this. I'm gonna comply, but this isn't fair. This is against my rights. You have no reason to think they're shaking the car. The guy's like, is this your car? He's like, or is this a rental? He's like, I told you this is a rental. Here's the fob for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like this and that. And with doing all of that, like everyone saw for themselves that these two cops were bad. Everyone saw for themselves that these two cops aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, and like, that's how you're supposed to comply in that situation, or that's how you're supposed to act in that situation.
Okay.
But a lot of it, for whatever reason, it just doesn't happen that way all the time.
But see, they didn't get shot.
No, they didn't.
They didn't get killed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even to the point where in my mind, to an extent, even him saying like this is wrong, why you're doing this, right? You have no reason to believe.
Yeah.
I feel like anyone saying that is jumping the gun a little bit, because you don't know what's in the person's mind. You don't know what this cop is thinking. You don't know why the cop thinks that. Because let's look at the other side of it, right? We don't know if that cop got word over the radio that this car has two people in it, black, Spanish, Asian, whatever.
Yeah.
Has two people in it, and they may be suspected, whatever. We don't know why the cop is doing that.
Right.
I know I feel like it's easy to say, yeah, he did it because they're black and he doesn't like black people.
Right.
I really feel like that's the easy route to take. And
go ahead.
We don't know, like, we don't really know why he stopped them, and they complied, and therefore, it's fucked up to say, but nothing worse happened to them.
Right.
Maybe I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
They got released. They were just like held for like an hour or two, I think. They didn't actually go to jail. They were like on the side for a while.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I get the same itch in my fingers and my arms when a cop pulls me over.
I got pulled over for the first time too.
Wait, you gotta share that one.
It's kind of a boring story. I'll share it.
Nah, you should still share it. You hold on to it though.
Yeah.
Anytime I've been stopped, right? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to anyone right now. I could understand why a cop would have beat my ass, bro. 100%.
Right.
The times I was stopped, I was speeding.
Okay.
When the cop comes to my car to give me the ticket, I treated him like he was wrong for catching me speeding.
Right.
It's not even. I gotta be honest, right? Because I started the show being honest about cheating with Words with Friends. Okay?
Yeah.
And I want to be honest the whole way through.
Right.
All right. He caught me speeding. It's not like I was speeding 5 miles over. I was
going ham, huh?
I was going ham, like Midnight Club, Forza.
Yeah.
Fucking what's the shit that Danica Patrick does?
NASCAR. Indy 500.
Speeding for no fucking reason.
Yeah. Double Jeopardy. He was already convicted.
Who?
No, he said it's on video.
Oh. I had nowhere to be. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have nowhere to be. I got a new fancy car. And I just wanted to speed around in it. Yeah. That's my answer. That's my honest answer. When he pulls me over, I treat him like he's wrong for pulling me over in the first place. You know what I mean? On a human level, not a police and civilian level. I'm talking about on a human level. I was wrong, and I treated him like shit because he caught me being wrong.
Right.
And I truly feel like when I see a lot of these videos, I feel like that's what's going on. I feel like I really one day could have easily been the same. Someone could have lost their temper with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And ever since I ever realized that, I was like, you know what, Dan, you was wrong for that. You were wrong for treating this cop. What happened?
I just heard the camera beat.
No, that's my thing over there.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, I say to myself, yo, bro, you was wrong for treating that cop that way. He has a job. He gets paid to do a certain thing, and you treated him like shit for doing his job. The same shit I would get. I gotta be real here. The same shit I would get upset about. Like if someone came to my job and treated me like shit for doing my job, I would be upset.
Yeah, that's why I tell a lot of people, like a lot of. No, it's not an excuse, but these are jobs. These are jobs for cops. They clock in for a 9 to 5, and they're already tired of your shit.
They're tired of everyone's shit.
Yeah,
bro.
they're already tired of your shit before it hits, and they know when they smell the bullshit because they do the job every day.
It's not, yo. They smell the bullshit. Not only they smell the bullshit. In my instance, they saw the bullshit.
Yeah,
they saw me.
Yeah.
Yo, you know which one will get me upset more than anything? The dude with the speed gun. I went past him at like 90.
Yeah.
But when I went past him at 90 and I started slowing down already, it was too late. He already clocked me at 90.
Yeah.
He pulls me over. You know what he does? He's like, can you roll your window down? You know what I do?
What?
I roll my window down this much, bro. I'm like, can I? The window was literally like this much of a crack was in there.
Yeah.
Yo, if I was a police officer, somebody did that to me. Let's say I'm on the force.
I would start banging on the window,
bro. Let's say I'm on the force for 50 years.
Yeah.
Let's say I've saved a couple of lives. You know what I mean? I deserve respect. I've saved lives before. Here comes like a young kid in a flashy car. He doesn't know where I got the car from. It could be in his mind. My parents probably bought it for me. They have money, and they bought me a flashy car, and I'm just being a punk kid, like annoying kid. Yeah. I could understand if he was like, get out the car, yo. On a human level. Yeah. I'm not saying police/civilian. Right. On a human level, I can understand if he's like, you know what, fuck this, yo. Today, I'm going all out to it because this motherfucker's annoying me today. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying, like, when I watch these videos, all I'm saying is I understand what may have transpired in there, and that if you had complied, it maybe wouldn't have gone down that line. Right. So when I see Black Lives Matter, and then anytime I see even the phrase Black Lives Matter, it's usually accompanied with someone who's not complying with police. Yeah. And then people after that saying, yo, I know he didn't comply, but you didn't have to kill him, bro. I get that. Yeah. I feel you. Right. But if he had complied, it wouldn't. You have to recognize. Yeah, you gotta recognize that point. Like, you can't just completely dismiss it. As a person who's guilty of that shit, I'm being honest with everyone. As a person who's guilty of that shit, I have to look at it from both sides of the coin. I can't just jump up and be like, Black Lives Matter. Like, I can't do that. Yeah. I gotta look at my own shortcomings and say, I was wrong for that. This guy's wrong for that. The cop is wrong for it too, but I understand. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That's what he says. I deal with other people's problems all the time at my job. Typically, you can find a quick solution. Most of the complications come from people being upset. You have to cut through the emotions and be practical. I agree. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I agree with that 100%. I'm just saying that I can't pretend like other factors don't come into play. Right. Let's say you're a cop on the force for 50, 70 years, whatever. 2 days from retirement. 2 days from retirement. You go to break up a house call. Somebody spits on you in your face. Like, nigga, I've been serving this community for 70 fucking years, and you spit in my face? Yeah. Police baton. Right to the knee. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. I'm just saying, like, Cindy says, I think the problem here is guns. These things happen in Europe all the time, but people don't get killed for them. But the interactions are heightened because they have weapons to kill. I could see that. See that. I mean, the scenario I was talking about didn't even include a gun. Right. Actually, the couple scenarios that were in my mind didn't even include a gun. They were really just forceful forceful things. Like I remember one. It wasn't even a black person. It was like a white girl. She was mouthing off at this cop. When I say he gave her the push, like he gave her the push of her lifetime, bro. Her head went straight to the bench, and that was it for her. Dunzo.
Yeah.
He was just upset.
Right.
I'm telling you, man. Like, you don't know. The thing is, we all know, right? I know I'm going off on a tangent.
People will come with big complaints after people see what the actual problem is, and the cops are scared because whoever they're talking to might have a weapon, so the cops get scared.
Wait, what?
It's a continuation from our other comments. So the interactions are heightened because they have weapons to kill, and the cops are scared because the chance that people might have weapons to kill. So the cop gets antsy too because the other person might have a weapon.
I'm not 100 on that. I'm not sure. I agree to an extent. But that's why a lot of the rules, even before the confrontation starts, is like keep your hands on the wheel.
Yeah.
And reach.
Keep your hands where I can see them.
Keep your hands where I can see them. But my thing is, like, we all know people are going through shit at home. Yes, I want my police officers to be able to separate their home life from their work life so that it doesn't intermingle and so that they don't make the wrong decision based on the fact that they're angry at home.
Yeah.
But the common sense side of me knows that people will always be people.
Yeah.
It could have been a black cop, white cop, Spanish cop, Chinese cop, Korean cop, anybody. If they don't know how to separate this shit from home and they come to work with that same shit, all I'm saying is that I'm just piecing shit together. That's all I'm saying. Because I've seen it in the regular workplace. It seems like I've seen it in the cop workplace.
Yeah. In the regular workplace, if you come to work with like a chip on your shoulder or whatever, and someone comes,
you might get sent home.
Yeah, you might get sent home. But yeah, you come in with like a chip on your shoulder, and someone comes in and like they have an issue, but they're like nice to you about it, or you have to take care of someone's problem and they're not like giving you the most attitude in the world, or they're like not demeaning you. It's hard for you to stay mad at that person or to lash out at that person,
right?
Because when whatever problem you're having at home, or whatever problem you're having at home, it has nothing to do with the person right in front of you.
Absolutely not.
Right? But if they come to you straight with like disrespect or anything that's like eggs that on, or like it flares up, or you just have to like sign like, man, I gotta deal with this too.
Yeah.
That's already an issue.
Yeah.
So like why
fuel the fire?
Yeah, why fuel the fire?
Look, man, I'm telling you, people who come across this type of shit, I know what the comments will be. The comments will be, yo, you're being a sellout, blah, blah. You could say that all you want. I know in my heart that a lot of the shit that leads to this is someone not being able to put their ego to the side. Someone on one of these sides didn't put their ego away. And as far as what's going against the other person, I haven't seen a situation where it ended any other type of way.
Right.
Like the person who's not complying, I haven't seen an issue. I rarely see when someone's like, they just not complying and then they like file a lawsuit and win. And type of shit. You know what I mean? Right. If that was the case, then I'd be cool with it. But it doesn't happen. I'm looking at the stats of it. You're not compliant. This police officer's not backing down either. You end up either getting injured or dead.
Yeah. Because you can't. There's no way you can win that battle.
Look, man. Perfect example. The one who said I can't breathe. I feel like this really goes back to even the government gun conversation.
Yeah.
Let's look at the scenario. Let's look at this. Just look at the scenario of the situation. The dude is surrounded by like 8 cops. You resisting arrest. Where can this possibly go? Do you really think you're not gonna fight all of them?
Yeah.
You're not beating all of them.
You think they're just gonna give up? They're gonna stop arresting you?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, man, like
I think that's a lot of people do. They keep resisting, and I don't know.
Bro.
It's usually bad all around, but a lot of times simple answers just to comply.
Am I bugging?
No, you're not bugging. And you can say whatever you want, but if you're a parent and you're talking to your kid about this, the first thing you're telling your kid is to do, no matter what you do, is comply. So you can't really say that that's not going to help the situation. And if you don't tell your kid to comply, if you tell them to resist and keep going, you're a terrible person. You're dumb and you shouldn't be a parent.
I don't feel like I would hope parents aren't out here doing that.
No, like you're gonna tell your kid comply, listen, because your life is more important than whatever
little
going
ego
on
battle.
right. Yeah,
because that's what that shit looks like to me. It looks like an ego battle.
most of the time it is. What's supposed to know what you're drinking?
Oh, I'm drinking wine.
Yeah.
Listen, I am like casually drinking wise. I don't like fuck with hard liquor all the time. And like I used to be hard liquor all the time. And then I found wine, and wine kind of just
classy.
Wine kind of, it's not even a matter of class. It just helps me balance it out because I'm terrible with like being like, okay, 1 Long Island is good.
Yeah.
2 Long Island is good. To me, all of them are good. So I can go to number 6 without realizing like number 6 is gonna make me non-compliant.
Right. With that, we're gonna end this episode of the 4%ers.
Everyone
We're
ending?
Yeah, we're gonna end.
Oh God. Why can't we just stream all the time? All day, every day.
Maybe in the future.
Do you need your job?
I do.
God damn.
Unfortunately, right? Capitalism, we love it.
I want to stream all day, every day.
It's in the future. It's in the future for sure. I made it to the end. You did, Westwick. You made it to the end.
He said I made it.
The metal cup keeps it from being too swanky.
Right?
Yeah. But this is...
People violated me when I had... Remember when I wasn't even trying... Remember I had the jar thing?
Yeah. Why are you drinking out of a jar, bro?
Yo, people cooked me for that jar.
But we're going to be back on Monday. Maybe a little bit earlier than we started today. We had a couple hiccups. We had like the stream end for no reason. Laptop froze.
There was so many technical difficulties.
Yeah, I think I should probably come back around the same time we started today, which was like 7. But I don't know. I just feel like that's a good time, like 7 to like.
Look, I'm telling you, you have.
Thank you, Tindy.
Thanks, bro. It's or sis.
Yeah, I think sis. I found out bro is not gender neutral.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
So thanks, bro.
No, it isn't. It's a girl.
Oh,
it's not.
I think sis. Because you have to drive. Like I feel like the time should be up to you because it's too difficult for me to get out to where you are.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever time works for you, and I understand you gotta drive like a minute. You know what I mean? That works. Whatever time's better for you, bro.
Yes, but next one we will be on Monday. Really quick. This. You said before that you kind of wanted to ask them for something that they think we should check out.
Oh yeah, no.
We'll check it out.
Honestly, what I wanted whoever's listening or like whatever listeners we have, I wanted them to recommend like a movie or something, or like recommend like a movie, documentary, or artist or something like that.
Yeah. That
they think is dope, and then we kind of listen to it.
Yeah, and then
we watch it or some shit.
Right, and you get our reaction to it.
Yeah, and that was about it.
Yeah, if you guys
I was more interested to see what people had.
Yeah, what you guys are into. We don't have a Discord. We do have a Twitter, I believe, below.
We do?
Yeah, we have a Twitter. We're going to start updating that with times we're going live because someone asked for that earlier, so we're going to get on that. But yeah, if you want us to check out anything over the weekend, we'll do that, and then we'll talk about it on Monday.
Yeah. Look, man, look, before we even go, I just want to say that if I could, I shouldn't even be talking more. I want to say that if I could, I would want to do streams Saturday and Sunday too. But I think between work
Yeah.
And then this Monday through Friday, yo, I'm dying, bro.
Right. The break is much needed for both of us.
Yo, I am dying, bro.
Yeah.
I wake up at like 3 a.m. to try to finish my regular job to get ready for this, and then that shit just kills me.
Right. Yo, I think last Sunday I slept for like 13 hours straight.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, but
I was sleeping at like 7. I woke up at like 9. I was like, holy shit! I didn't even realize.
I don't blame you. But we will definitely be back Monday.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Monday, I'll say check for us around. Well, we're gonna follow the Twitter below. We're gonna tweet right before we go live, or we're gonna tweet sometime before we go live. Yeah. And,
I think it's dry in there right now. There's nothing.
Yes, there's no tweets there. Nothing.
There's nothing.
It's us for sure. We're gonna update it. But again, thanks for watching. We're gonna catch you guys next time.
Later.